Good morning, everyone. My name is Francia, and today we're going to be practicing a gentle vinyasa practice. I always give options to make things a little bit more effortful, if you like, or keep them a little bit more relaxed. So today, the only tools we're going to need is a set of yoga blocks, or maybe just one. If you have one, you can just transfer it from side to side. So we'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Allow your body to softly mold onto whatever you're sitting on, whether it's your mat or a cushion or even a chair. And then allow your shoulders to roll back and down, lengthen up through the spine, and create a nice space for breathing. So we want to create a nice frame so that our lungs can expand and they can contract and they can release and they can let go. As we breathe, this frame is always there. So we keep this frame not only throughout our breathing practices, but also throughout our yoga asana practice. So maybe closing the eyes, maybe taking just a few moments to scan through the body and notice and observe if there's any parts of the body that need a little bit more softness, or you can release a little bit more tension there. And as we go through this scan, moving from head to toe or toe to head, whatever it is that you want to do, just finally make a moment for yourself to observe. Give yourself a moment of peace, of calm, pairing up your breath so that the inhales and the exhales are equal in length and measure. Observing the sensations of your body so you can make a conscious effort to let go of anything that no longer serves you. Adjusting your seated position as necessary so that you can feel completely and entirely settled in. And then finally coming into the awareness of your thoughts and your mind. Can you make that your mind and your thoughts also match up this softness in the body and this steady pace of breathing? When we bring all those three elements together, we find ourselves in the present moment. We find ourselves completely here, nowhere to go, nothing to do. And we prepare ourselves for our practice. Allow your shoulders to relax down as you bring your palms together at the center of the heart, thumbs against the sternum. Take another deep breath in, feeling the lungs expanding, the rib cage lifting. And then as you exhale, again, once more, soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. We'll prepare for a sound Om. Deep breath in, inhale. And as we exhale, we release the hands down, we blink the eyes open, awareness into our space. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So we're going to come onto the mat, separate your knees about as wide as your mat, or maybe a little bit wider than your hips. Your big toes touch, and we're going to sink the hips to the heels. So if there's any pain behind the knees or at the front of the knees, placing a blanket or a rolled up towel in that crease of the knee is going to be very helpful. Once your hips are down, bring one elbow down, then the other, and let's just kind of be here for a moment. So as we prepare to come into our child's pose, we notice that as we bring the forearms down to the floor, where there's weight on the forearms, right? We're putting a little bit of pressure there. And we want to move the shoulders away from the ears as opposed to crunching them forward. So we want to create length in the front body. Imagine a line being drawn from your belly button all the way out to the front of the chest. And then as we take a nice deep breath in, everything is long. And then as we exhale, let's walk the elbows a little bit forward. And then we start to notice that the weight is now different. Now we want to pay attention to the knees. We want to pay attention to the hips. And if there's any pain or discomfort, then please adjust by either bringing the knees a little closer together or placing, again, something behind the knees or underneath the feet. There's a stretch happening to the tops of the feet here as well. Take another deep breath, long spine, shoulders back. Exhale once more. And then walk the arms a little bit more forward. And maybe this time it's possible, you can bring your forehead to the mat. So with the forearms on the floor, now that they're extended forward, we don't have as much weight on the forearms. The weight is kind of equally distributed here between the forearms, the head, and the hips or the legs. Move the shoulders back and down. Breathe steady and easy, calming the mind. And then a little different than what we normally do, we're going to turn the palms up. Normally we have the palms down. So we're going to turn the palms up so that the thumbs stick out to the sides. And then same thing with the other side. And then the arms are kind of separated. So the arms are not together, but about width or distance of your shoulders. And then again, let your forehead rest down. So allow yourself to use your props as needed here. You can put a pillow underneath your head. You can put blocks or a block underneath your butt if your butt's not coming all the way down to your heels. But we're trying to create this external rotation of the shoulders as we lengthen the spine and as we find a steady pace of breath and a calmness in the mind. So it's all equally important. One is not more important than the other. So we try to create this equal length in the spine, equal softness in the shoulders as they externally rotate, equal movement of breath, equal calmness of mind. Breathe easy. Be here just a few more breaths, kind of just preparing ourselves. And I know with the palms up, it's a little bit more effortful, so see what you can do. And with the next inhale breath, let's gently lift the head up, turn the palms down. So now the shoulders internally rotate. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, come down one more time. So that the forehead is on the floor, the palms are down now. And if you feel like it's available for you, maybe coming onto your fingertips so that your forearms, elbows, and upper arms lift up away from the mat. And then the shoulders roll back, the hips reach back. The head is resting either on your pillow, on a block, or on the floor. So you want your neck to be soft. Breathing steady. You might feel this over on the sides of your body more than you would perhaps in your shoulders. That's a possibility. See where you feel the pose and breathe steadily. With the next inhale, if your hands are tenting up your fingers, then go ahead and bring your palms flat. Inhale, lift your head, look forward. And then exhale, roll onto your forearms to come onto the forearms here, bring the knees together. And then now we kind of move into a little bit of a down puppy. So down puppy is different than child's pose. Your knees are going to be together and you're going to want to lift your hips and keep them up as we walk the elbows forward. So same idea as before, but instead of bringing the hips all the way to the heels, they're staying up in the air. Walk the elbows to where you feel comfortable. Let the forehead come down and then straighten the arms. So a little bit more of a stretch in the shoulders and in the upper back. Steady breathing here. Easy and calm. Whatever tightness or tension that you're feeling in the shoulders, see if you can wrap your shoulders kind of around the armpit. So you're kind of externally moving the shoulders even though the palms are facing down. And let your forehead rest. Kind of reach in opposite directions, tailbone reaching back. Fingers and top of the head reaching forward, chest reaching down, creating the arch in the back. Maybe it's a very little gentle arch, maybe it's a big arch, doesn't matter. And lastly, if you feel good, you can press into the fingertips. Come a little higher with the arms. The shoulder blades keep moving back and down. Long extended spine. Steady your breath. Easy, peaceful inhale. Slow exhale. And then slowly, let's release the palms down. Bring the elbows down. Slide the elbows underneath you. And everyone sit back. Arms reach towards the feet. We'll take a more traditional balasana, a more traditional child's pose, with the shoulders now just kind of falling out to the sides, the arms just kind of hanging, reaching down towards the feet. And again, the forehead on the mat, softening the neck, and coming back into connection with your breath. All right, let's do one more deep breath. Really kind of feel your upper body, your torso melting onto your thighs. And then let's inhale and slowly start to roll ourselves up. So just like cat pose, push the space between the shoulder blades. Use your core strength to roll yourself up nice and slow and steady. Coming all the way up. Let the head be the last thing to lift. Roll the shoulders back and down. Good. All right, beautiful. Let's make our way to kneeling. Once you're kneeling, separate the knees, hip width, hands shoulder width. Inhale, move into cow. Exhale, sway into cat. Pairing up your movement with your breath. This is the vinyasa method. So as you inhale, you move into one pose, opening up into cow. And as you exhale, you move into the other pose, creating arch as you come into cat. And then feel free to go at your own pace with your own particular rhythm of breath. You may find yourself going a little faster than I am. You may find yourself going a little slower than I am. Whichever way, direction or whichever way you're moving, just make sure the inhale opens you into cow and that the exhale closes you into cat. Use the full breath to get into the pose and only start the next movement when the next breath comes in. So the breath dictates the movement, not the other way around. And just maybe one more in both directions. Waking up the spine. And then coming into a flat back. All right, so once we're in a flat back, we're gonna go ahead and bring the knees a little closer together just for balance. Extend the left leg out. Press out through the left heel to get a stretch into the back of the left leg, so your left calf. And then allow yourself to push back with the left heel as you reach your body forward. So you're really kind of pulling yourself in opposite directions here. If it feels okay for you to balance, then go ahead and lift that left leg. And again, come into a cow position. So the cow position, you're going to lift the leg, lift the chest, try to keep that left leg straight, shoulders back, lift, 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 exhale. Now we're going to tuck that knee in and bring it in towards the head as you round the spine into cat. So it's the same pose, only the leg is changing. And then again, inhale, lift and lengthen everything up, shoulders back, chin up, leg up. Exhale, curl it under. Try not to let that left knee touch if you don't have to. So keep it hovering over the air. Push the shoulder blades away. One last time. Inhale. Everything opens. Deep breath in. Exhale. Curl it in. Belly draws in. Forehead towards the knee. And then slowly release. Kind of give yourself a little side to side here. Let's tuck the toes under and let's give our wrists a little break. Maybe bring the forearms to the floor and then just open and close the hands, move the wrists. So a lot of times when we put a lot of weight on the hands, it does help to work out the wrist, but it can feel a little bit strained. So if you're feeling strained, give yourself a moment to soften that strain. Give yourself a little love in your wrists. All right, now we're going to move on to the second side. So finding back our tabletop position. Remember also too, you want to squeeze your mat with your fingers, so that makes so that your weight is not all being dumped into your wrist. Bring some weight to your fingers. All right, so now we're going to extend the right leg, push the heel back, Move your torso forward, kind of engage into your abdomen. So you don't want to kind of flop into your belly, but pull the belly in and lengthen up like a nice tall plank. And then from here, if it feels good to balance, you're going to lift the right leg, balance there, point the right toe, push into the floor with both shoulders, even yourself out here for a moment. And then with the next inhale breath, let's go into that cat position or cow position. Leg up, chest up, shoulders back, everything up. Lift, 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 lift. Chin up too, look up. Exhale. Okay, we're gonna curl that right knee in, round the back, forehead towards the knee, shoulder blades separate. Inhale, back into that cow position with the leg. Opening the heart, reach with that leg, extend the body, exhale, curl everything in, middle back rises, belly draws in. One last time, inhale to lift. Deep breath in as you extend and lengthen, reach up, exhale, curl it in. Full exhale breath as you push into the floor, shoulder blades separate. And then drop the knee down, tuck the toes under, and once more, bring those forearms down. Let's give those wrists another little break. One of the things that I like to do with my wrists is I press the inner part of my wrist together, and I kind of just do this little shake thing. Good morning, Dookie. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Now we move. Thank you. Nobody needs to see that. All right, so kind of this little thing with the wrist. It's really helpful, I find, in softening any tension in the wrist. All right, we're gonna make our way to standing. So let's start by coming into Malasana. If you know that Malasana is a tough pose for you, use a block. I'll give you the option to use it once we're in it. But let's tuck our toes under, press the fingertips on the floor, come balance onto your toes for a moment. If you're gonna have the block, grab it and use it so that you can place it on either sides of your feet and then slide it back so that you can actually sit on the block. Once you're seated on the block, then you can separate your feet and take Malasana. You can also do this without the block. So the block is an option for you. Take it if you want it. Then you're going to bring the elbows on the insides of the knees. One elbow, other elbow, so that your spine is nice and long. Palms can come in together into prayer. Lift the chest, and then allow yourself to be here just for a few breaths. So if you're not using the block, clearly you're going to be exerting a lot more effort, which is fine if that's what you're feeling like doing today. That's good. And if, like me, you're like, no, the block feels pretty good, I still get all the work done in the same way, I just have a little extra help, that's fine too. Sometimes it's good to have a little extra help. So see if you can kind of settle in, close the eyes. Soften yourself here, reach the top of the head, reach the tailbone down as you ground down through the block. Keep your feet nice and flat, the big toes and the pinky toes are rooted. Your heels are down on the mat, you're pressing down through your whole foot. Long extended spine. There's the other one. All right, with the next inhale breath, we're gonna release and we're gonna try to come up from this block without using hands. So bring your feet so that they're a little closer to each other, but still wider than the block. Let's reach the arms forward. We're gonna pull back a little bit, like we're gonna use a little bit of momentum. Pull back a little bit, and then inhale, come up, and maybe just kind of hold here in balance if that's available for you. And then exhale, sit down. All right, so we're gonna do that 2 more times. If you're not able to clear the block, that's okay. So maybe coming up looks something like this, and you're not really lifting, that's okay too. Try it and do the best you can. Here we go. This is the second one. Lean back a little bit, inhale. Maybe we come up, maybe we don't. Shoulders back, reach the arms forward to counterbalance. Exhale, sit back down. And sometimes you come up, but then you come right back down, you crash back down, that's okay. Sorry for this, dog. All right, last one, dog move. All right, here we go. So arms forward, lean back just a little bit to give you momentum. Bring weight to your feet. Inhale, up. Hold, 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 shoulders back, shoulders back. Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit different. Bring the hands to the floor and slowly elevate the hips. Bring the feet parallel to each other and let's take a hanging forward fold. Let's start this first one with the knees soft. So with the knees soft, you want to bring your rib cage to your thighs. Let your hands either be on the floor or you can hold on to your opposite elbows. I like this one. Makes it feel like it drags or it pulls the long spine. So it feels nice for me. You decide what you like. Let the head relax. Let yourself be completely kind of in this pose of surrender, letting go any tension, any tightness. So you might feel this at the sacrum, at the lower back. That's fine. As long as your rib cage and your thighs are connected, it's okay to feel a little bit of sensation there. You don't want to feel pain at this lower back area. And then if you have a little bit more flexibility, maybe the stretch moves into your middle or upper back. That's okay too, as long as well as the rib cage and the thighs are making connection. So you want to get rid of all that space, close it up, feel out the space between your rib cage and your thighs. This might mean you might need to bend your knees a lot to close that space. That's okay. As you hold, start to lengthen, 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 but keeping that space closed. And then finally, the head is your ripe, beautiful, delicious, ready to eat mango, hanging off the tree. Nice and ready for it to be plucked off the tree because it's going to go into your salad or just going to be your snack for today. Pay attention to the weight of your body here. So your feet are your foundation. Is all of your weight in your heels? Can you bring a little bit more weight forward to your toes? Is all of your weight on the pinky edge sides of your feet? Can you press the inner sides of your feet in, or vice versa? So just observe and notice where your weight distribution is and see if you can even it out. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a sway to kind of find that center, or maybe a little side to side. And then we're going to add some movement here. So let's go ahead and inhale, lift the arms, exhale, bring them back. Inhale, lift, exhale, bring them back. So up and then back towards the legs. Inhale, lift, exhale, bring it back. We're kind of using the back muscles, but we're also kind of finding a sense of softness within the shoulders. And then once we come back towards the legs, then let's just take our tick-tock side arms, kind of drawing a half circle with the forearms. Bringing the left elbow towards the left, right elbow towards the right, and then coming back through to center. And then just allow yourself to find that weight distribution as it changes from left to right. Good, it's just a couple more. And then slowly we're going to release, bring the hands down to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. If it's available for you, maybe straighten the legs, contract your quadriceps. You can slide that block, excuse me, partly forward, and then bring your hands to the block so that your legs can find that straight position with the kneecaps pulling up and the quadriceps contracted. So if you touch your quadricep, you should feel like there's a strong muscle under there. It shouldn't be soft. Like when your knees are bent, the muscle is soft. When your legs contracted, now that muscle is nice and strong. And then again, we want to try to feel the stretch through the entire posterior chain of the legs. Shoulders back, round through your feet, belly drawn in, lift your chest. Maybe you look forward, or maybe you look down towards your hands. Allow your torso to kind of be engaged here. So no relaxing into a floppy belly. Draw in through the belly, lift the rib cage, and find yourself here as you push the shoulders back. Good. Bend the right knee and kind of sway into that right side, and then bend the left knee, sway into that left side. So we're just kind of adding a little bit of motion. Inhaling as you go to the side, exhaling as you come to center. Inhaling as you come to the side, exhaling as you come to center. Kind of just using your breath with your movement. Now we're going to add the arm, but we're going to hold. So bend the left knee, keep your left hand on the block, right arm up towards the sky. Open the chest, reach, 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 reach. Stay grounded through your left leg, left hand, and the edge of your right pinky toe. And then exhale, bring it down. Good. Find yourself back in the middle. Bend your right knee, right hand on the block. Inhale, left arm opens, rotate and twist. Look up towards the left fingertips. Right hand, right foot grounded. Press the left edge of the left pinky toe down into the mat. And exhale, come back to center. Now we're going to do it as a vinyasa, so as a movement. Left knee bends, right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Right knee bends, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Left knee, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Right knee, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. One last time, both sides. Left knee, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Right knee, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. And shake out the legs. Let's slowly roll ourselves to standing. So release the block, let your head relax, and slowly start to kind of lift up, letting your arms hang here. Take your time. This is not a fast movement. You want to feel the stretch between each vertebra as you start to stack your knees over your ankles, your hips over your knees. Your spine starts to stack one vertebrae over the other. The shoulders stack over the hips, and then the head over the shoulders. And we're in a nice standing position. All right, so let's make our way to the top of the mat. For our first vinyasa, keep your blocks handy, we might use them. Not sure yet, we'll decide. So from the top of your mat, you can have the toes together in Samastitihi, or you can be in mountain pose with the feet slightly apart. Either way is fine. We're gonna take a nice deep inhale. We're gonna bring the arms diagonally forward. Notice your shoulders, pull them back and down. Notice the weight of your legs, nice and sturdy. And then as we continue to inhale, let's continue to lift those arms up and keep them parallel to each other. Look forward. So different than Ekam, our first movement in Ashtanga, we're not bringing the palms together. We're keeping the shoulder blades apart and the palms facing each other. You can't really see it in the video here, but you want to kind of reach through the fingertips, shoulder blades separate and pull down, and ground yourself strong, kind of tuck under through your pelvis, strong legs. Now, as we exhale, we're going to softly bend through the elbows, bend through the knees, and come into the forward fold. See if you can plant your hands right next to your feet so that your toes and the tips of your fingers align, and then the head can come down. Inhale, lifting halfway. The shoulder blades roll back, the chest lifts. And then as we exhale, plant your hands on the floor, step your right foot back, followed by your left foot. Keep your weight forward onto your shoulders and come into a high plank. As we position ourselves in our high plank, protract the shoulders, separate the shoulder blades, hollow out the navel, strong core. Exhale, bring the right knee forward towards the right thumb and extend the left leg back. So kind of similar to a pigeon pose, but not really. Your right foot is pointing straight back. So we're kind of stretching through the front of that left hip flexor. If it's available, maybe drop that left knee and extend the foot completely. So again, similar to a pigeon, but only through the left side, not the right side. Stay here for a couple of breaths, lift the chest, shoulders back. Nice, maybe a little bit of an arch in the back as you keep dropping that left hip forward. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, let's tuck the toe under. Use the strength of your arms and your leg to press that leg straight. Kind of lift yourself up just enough so that you can lift the right knee up, extend it back, find yourself in that plank position once more. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with the left side. Protract the shoulders, strong core. Left knee comes to the left thumb, left toes are pointing straight back, and we're reaching back to that right leg. So again, you can keep the toes tucked under, but I find it's a little nicer and a little kinder when I release the knee down and then point the toe. So once I'm in position, then now we can go ahead and really work on dropping that right hip, keeping yourself stable. And if there's any pain in the knee here, then obviously you would be up higher if this is putting any kind of pain in your knee. So Ruthie, be very careful because I know your knee has been not kind to you lately. So allow yourself to modify. All right, one more deep breath, inhale. Exhale. And then with the next inhale, we're gonna tuck the toe under, kind of walk that knee slightly forward to kind of regain your strength here as you press the right leg straight. Use strong legs, strong arms. Inhale everything up. Exhale back to your high plank. All right, let's chaturanga from the knees or from the toes, your choice. Lower down with control. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, again, your choice. roll into your vinyasa. Exhale, curl over the toes, downward facing dog. And let's just settle in here for the downward facing, pressing into the fingers. Allow your shoulders to kind of wrap around the armpit. So we're not like squeezing the shoulder blades, we're actually separating the shoulder blades, pulling the arms forward as you settle yourself back. So a lot of engagement here. If the legs can straighten, great. If not, keep the knees bent, no worries. Belly's drawn in, long extended torso, long extended legs. Settling in. Keep breathing. We're going to add a little bit of movement to this. So just like in the standing forward fold, bend the right knee, let the right heel come off the floor, and then slowly release and then do the other side. Left knee bends, left heel comes off the floor, and then come back. So just kind of pedal out your way here, one side, then the other. If your hands and wrists are getting tired, feel free to take a child's pose and then come back into it. We're only going to do maybe 3 more times, side to side, pedaling our way through. Long extended torso. Push into the fingers so that it's not just your wrist doing all this work. Maybe 1 more here. Coming to center, and then inhale, look forward, walk the right foot forward, walk the left foot forward, lift the chest, shoulders back, exhale, fold and release. Inhale, softly the knees bend, softly the arms kind of come up at that diagonal, and we find ourselves back in that nice long extended position, reaching the arms, shoulders down, feet grounded and rooted, belly drawn in, stacking yourself over your feet, and then exhale, arms down by your sides. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of a back bend here just to kind of continue the movement. So we're going to separate the feet a little bit wider than hip width, not as wide as your mat, but not too narrow. Hands are going to come to the waist. As we inhale, we're going to lift the chest, and we're just going to start with this idea of what it's like to fold back. So maybe just imagine your hips moving forward, your rib cage moving up, the top of your chest moving up, and not so much back. The back kind of happens automatically. So see what that feels like. Hips forward, rib cage, chest up. Hands can stay at your waist here, just so that you can give yourself a little bit of support and remind you to keep moving those hips forward. Let the shoulders roll back, and let's just kind of lift the chin just enough so that you feel one line of the spine here. And you can gaze down at the tip of your nose, and then exhale, bring everything back to center. So that might have felt pretty intense, or maybe you felt like it felt fine. You can add more to that. Before we move on, let's do a couple of releases of the spine. So just some little twists. All right, and then we're going to do that again. Now, this time, we're going to incorporate the arms. So again, the feet are about hip width apart, or maybe a little bit wider. The hips, they move forward. So when the hips move forward, don't dump all your weight into your lower back. It's not about just kind of sinking, right? The legs are contracted, the hips move forward, and everything lifts up. So now, instead of having the hands at your waist, let's bring the hands into prayer. So there's nothing now to support or feel like it's supporting the lower back. We are extending hips forward, extending rib cage, chest up, hips forward, hips and rib cage back and up, and then the head goes in line with the spine. So we can have the head forward, right, because the back is back there, but we're also not dropping the head back because that's not very nice to the neck. So we're finding some kind of happy medium here. At the same time, even though the head is heavy, let yourself be relaxed in your neck. Shoulders down. Try not to tighten too much to the glutes. I know they'd like to. And then slowly come back. And then again, maybe some side to side. Maybe you can lift the opposite heel to really get your body to twist. So anytime we bend the back, either in a forward fold or in a back bend, The twists really help us create the strength if we hold the twist, or if it's a moving twist, it helps us release. So that's what we're doing here. All right, we're gonna do it one more time, the back bend, and this time we're gonna try to bring the arms back. So again, finding stability, belly, core drawn in. Can't back bend with just your back. You gotta use your core. So tighten through the core, move those hips forward. You should feel it in the fronts of your thighs. This is working, firing up nice and strong. Inhale as the chest, rib cage lifts, shoulders back. Kind of bring your rib cage up, 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 up. Find nice, strong feet, grounded, rooted, and then hands into prayer. And then lastly here, we're gonna bring the hands over so that the thumbs touch the top of the head to help hold some of the weight of the head, elbows in, and then allow yourself to go and find a little bit more opening by lifting up, grounding down through the feet, shoulder blades kind of just pulling down away. Hold and breathe. Open your heart space. Deep inhales. Slow exhales. Push the hips forward. And inhale, make your way back up. Release the arms. And then again, take your little twists. Good. So those type of standing back bends are incredibly energizing. Maybe you feel like you can go run a marathon right now. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's go for our second vinyasa. We're going to incorporate the back bend into this one. So the feet are hip width apart, not in samasthiti. Feet are apart. Inhale, let the arms come up. Keep the arms just like we did before, separated. But this time, turn your palms forward so that your palms are facing the front of your mat. Inhale, just like we did. Shoulder blades back and down, hips forward, rib cage lifts. Open your heart, maybe look up. Exhale. Take everything back to center. Soften your knees, soften your elbow, and come forward. This might feel a little funky as you come forward. It's okay. Let it be. We're kind of moving the spine in opposite directions, just like in cat and cow, just a little bit more intense. You can hold on to your opposite elbows, or you can let your hands rest either on the outside or the insides of your feet, whatever's comfortable for you. I like the outside. Here, relax the head. All right, take your hands forward of your feet, step your right foot back, followed by your left foot, and come into that high plank position. Shoulders back, protracted shoulders. All right, let's drop the right knee, pivot the left heel to the floor, place the right hand directly in front of the knee. So you look wrist, knee, foot, heel, all in one line. Open through the left side of the chest. Keep your hand either at your hip, you can look up, and if it feels good, you can extend that left arm up towards the sky. So we're coming into a side plank here. Push into your fingers of your right hand and reach your left fingers up, 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 up. Now, just for fun, let's extend that left arm over the head, but turn the left shoulder in so it's in front of the face, not behind you. In front of your face, kind of like you want to bring your whole face to the inside of your left armpit. And then if it feels okay, maybe try a balance by bringing your weight onto your right knee, right hand, and then you can take your left leg up. And if that feels kind of yucky, you're like, no, I like it down better, then keep it down. And then exhale, take the left hand down. Extend the right leg back, find your plank once more, protracting the shoulders, strong core. Left knee comes down, we prepare for the other side. So left hand, left knee, left foot, right ankle, all in one line. Open up your body, find your stacked position, and then the right arm can come up. You can look up, keep a sense of balance here, keep pressing in the top of your left foot, pushing the right pinky toe edge side of your right foot down into the mat. And again, as we reach up, we press into the left fingertips. It's okay to waver a little bit. Just for fun, let's take that right arm over so that the face is up against the inside of the right arm and close to the armpit. Finding your sense of balance. If you like, bring your weight forward a little bit more. And then lift your right leg. See what happens. If it doesn't feel nice, just bring it down. No worries. And exhale. Right hand down. Left leg back. High plank. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing. Exhale. downward facing. And easy breathing here. Let it all go. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. Maybe bend and straighten the knees. Try not to sink down in your down dog, but instead push into the arms as you kind of extend your ribcage towards your thighs. Let your head be soft and relaxed. So a little bit of nodding side to side, chin to chest, and then extending forward. Kind of just giving permission for your neck to be soft. No tightness. Couple more breaths here. Connecting with your willpower and your sense of strength. If you think like, oh, that's it, I got no more in me, give yourself one more breath. And then everyone together as we exhale, let's bring the knees down and let's take a nice Balasana. Pick whichever feels best for you. Hands by the feet or arms extended. Your choice. Easy breathing. It's nice to get off the hands, off the wrists. Maybe move your fingers around, your wrists around. Thank you to your body. And then inhale, we're going to slowly roll ourselves up to a hero's pose. Find yourself in hero's pose. Okay, so here in hero's pose, we're going to go ahead and bring our legs, our feet over to the right side. So come off your feet, bring them over to the right side, and then sit down with your left hip down first. Once you're there, take the right foot in front and over so that the right foot is on the outside of that left knee. Then find yourself nice and upright, long spine. Hug that left knee with the crease of your left elbow, and let's twist to the right. If you don't need your right hand behind you, I would suggest interlace your fingers and keep yourself connected in the upright position as you move your right shoulder back. But if you feel like you're going to fall backwards, then definitely use the right hand behind you to keep yourself upright. Steady the breath. Keep the twist, inhaling as you lengthen, exhaling as you bring that left side of the rib cage closer and closer to that right thigh. Look over the right shoulder. And then slowly first release the head, then release the arms and the twist. Come back to center. Lean over to the side, and let's extend that left leg forward, keeping the right foot in the same position as we had it before. Right hand's going to go on the inside here. Maybe you find your calf or your ankle. Keep your chest lifted, and then try to open up the space of your collarbones. So while you're holding onto the leg, the other hand can come behind you. And again, we twist the opposite direction. But allow yourself not to put any weight in that back arm, even if the fingers are on the floor. So all your weight is forward, fronts of your sits bones. Left leg is rooting you, leaning you forward. You're pushing against the knee, the right knee, but the knee is also pushing against the arm. So it's not going anywhere. Everything's kind of stable. And then just gently turn the head back to center. Release the arms, release the right leg, kind of extend them out, shake it out for a little bit. And let's take a nice gentle forward fold. Find your toes, no pulling, just holding. Inhale, lift your chest, and then exhale, let yourself come down. So we're not pulling with the toes, we're using the core to lower ourselves down to the mat. We're just holding onto the toes for connection. And then let your head relax. Settle in. Inhale, lift the head halfway, shoulders back. Exhale there. And then take Dandasana, hands on either sides of your body, of your hips. Lift your ribcage, shoulders back, chin down. Strong legs. You're not pushing into your arms. Maybe they're straight, maybe they're bent. Doesn't matter. And then slowly release. We're going to exhale, lean to the other side. Both knees bend to the other side like we just came out of our hero's pose. Then we're going to take that left foot up and over. Once the left foot is in position, recenter your hips so you can kind of be stable here in this, I think this one's called cow face or something like that. This pose is kind of funky. And then we're gonna bring the right arm across the top of the knee. I like to interlace my fingers, but maybe you can hold on to your wrists, or if you need the hand behind you, bring the hand behind you. But the goal here is to bring the right side of your rib cage towards that left thigh. So really kind of get connection there, and then open up and look towards the left. Make sure the left foot is planted down, and make sure the left hip is down, so the left hip is not riding up or hiking up or floating. Looking back over that left shoulder. Each inhale extends your spine more. Each exhale brings that right side rib cage to kiss the left thigh a little bit closer. Open through the left shoulder so you're not squeezing in, but you're extending and creating space. And then exhale, take the gaze first to the front. Release your arms, release your twist, and then lean to the right. Extend the bottom leg, the right leg. Extend it out in front of you. Come back so that both sits bones are on the ground. Left arm's gonna go inside that knee, and we're gonna reach for the ankle or the calf, whatever you can find. Once you have it, then create rotation, right hand behind you, and we're looking towards the right. So even if your right hand is on the floor, we're not dumping weight back there. We're bringing all our weight forward. All of our weight's coming forward. Right leg is rooted and grounded, giving you the foundation. Come forward to the fronts of your sits bones. Keep your right foot flexed. Keep the right shoulder moving back. Bringing the left side of your rib cage now towards that left thigh. Rotating in the opposite direction. And then slowly as you exhale, look forward. Release your arms. Release your leg. And then now we're gonna go for a little back bend. So hands behind us, Purvottanasana, shoulder blades back, point your toes, kind of hollow out your navel as you engage into your legs, lean back. Inhale, everything up, the toes come down, the hips rise up, and the head drops back. Shoulder blades are strong here. Breathing deeply. Exhale, slowly lower it down. And again, take Dandasana position, chin down, easy breathing. Another inhale. And exhale. Good. We're going to go ahead and lay all the way flat on our back. So you can just lay where you are. You know me, I like to turn around. I'm a creature of habit. So once you're down on your back, let's take a constructive rest pose. Wardrobe adjustment. Take a moment to just feel yourself flat. At this point, if you want to close your eyes, you're welcome to. Let your feet be apart, your knees come together, and you can let your hands rest at your belly, at your heart, or one on each side. Connect back to that same deep breathing we found at the beginning of our practice. Check in with the state of your mind. Check in with the sensations of your body. And see if as you bring all these three into focus, you find yourself completely present in this moment. Relax the shoulders, relax the arms. We're going to do a Viparita Karani just to finish up. So if you want to try using the block for this, I think it feels a little different with the block. You're going to come onto your toes, lift your hips up, and place the block underneath the sacrum. So once the block is in the correct place, right, where it's not too high, not too low, then you're going to bring your knees in, maybe make a couple more adjustments so you feel comfortable. You can also use a cushion or something to lift the hips. And then we're going to extend the legs up. Keep the arms in Shavasana, arms, palms facing up. And let's just kind of be here for a few breaths. Let this be the culmination of your practice. Surrendering and releasing all of the effort, all of the work, the struggle, and even the ease. We surrender it, we let it go. Continue to focus and be aware of the movement of your breath. Noticing that if we lose that focus, that's when the mind tends to creep in and the concerns, worries, to-dos conversations, errors, mistakes, lessons, all of these things start flooding back in. So bring awareness back. Always bring awareness back. Inhaling, exhaling. Let that be your mantra. Let that be your constant reminder that you are here, that you are safe, that you are in this moment. That there's no need for change. There's no need for difference. There's just now. If it's available for you, try to slow down your breathing. Lengthening and deepening the inhales. Lengthening and deepening the exhales. Until it becomes your natural state to breathe slow and deep, without force, without struggle. And your legs might start to feel a little funky now, perhaps. Make sure that there is a softness in the joints of your knees and ankles, and even the joints of your hips and toes. There's no contraction happening within the legs, but instead they're just floating, heavy and free. Light. A couple more breaths here. Make a conscious effort to relax through the torso and the shoulders. The arms, wrists, hands, and fingers soften. With the next exhale, you're welcome to stay here and treat this as your Shavasana, or we're going to go ahead and come into Shavasana just for a few moments by starting to bend the knees and letting the feet drop down. If you'd like to add in here, you can go ahead and bring the feet to the floor and go right into your Shavasana by lifting the hips and removing the block. But if you feel so inclined, you can try going for a little bit of a supported back bend, lengthening the legs with the block still underneath you, and then reaching the arms overhead. Nice long spine, feet flexed, reach to the fingertips, pressing and lengthening. Nice opening in the fronts of the hip flexors and the psoas. Just take a few breaths if you're there, and then go ahead and we'll all meet in Shavasana by removing the block from underneath, settling the hips down, extending the legs so that the feet flop out, extending the arms so that the palms can face up and the shoulders can relax open, creating a nice long line between the fronts of the shoulders and the collarbones. Close your eyes. Find yourself here, breathing, scanning through the body to make sure that you relax every muscle, every tendon, every ligament. Slowly and gently, we'll begin to bring awareness back to the movement of breath, back to the body, back to this place that we find ourselves in. When you're ready, you can start to add a little bit of movement to the fingers and the toes, to the hands, feet, wrists, and ankles, to the knees and the elbows. The shoulders and the hips can begin to awaken. And then maybe a full body stretch once more, reaching in opposite directions. Deep breath in. And exhale, maybe hugging the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice tight squeeze and a lower back massage by moving side to side or letting the knees separate and coming back in. When you're ready, just roll over onto your right side for a moment. Use your right arm as a pillow. Let your head rest. Allow the breath to stay connected, rhythmic, natural, and soft. Inhaling, let's take a nice pushing into the left arm, extending up, coming up to a seated posture. You can sit cross-legged. You can use your cushion or not, up to you. As we find ourselves kind of coming full circle to the end of our practice, I always like to include some sort of a gratitude practice in my classes, just because I find that when we live a life out of a space of gratitude, things tend to work out and fall in the right position, the right place, at the right time, even though they may not seem like they do. Eventually, they always do. And I think it all starts from being grateful. And you can be grateful for just about anything. You can be grateful for the sound of the birds singing in the morning, for the warmth of the water in your tea, for a loving embrace from someone you love. Even for the ability to sit upright and find focus. That is a nice way to create gratitude in your heart. And as you move along the rest of your day after your yoga practice today, just see if you can keep that gratitude in your heart throughout. Share it with those around you, whether you know them or don't know them, whether they are human or non-human, whatever it is. Let the little insects be a part of this bubble of gratitude that we are encircling ourselves with. And then as we inhale together, we'll bring the palms to the center of the heart, thumbs against the sternum. We'll breathe in together for a sound Om. Inhale. Namaste.